Bob is 99 not out. By Sandy Miller. Bohuslav Bob Ulela has reached an incredible milestone. Bob recently turned 99 years old. He was delighted when a procession of greetings from all levels of government arrived through his letterbox. Bob's daughter, Nada Whittle, said,
"He was so excited when he received a letter from our local state member, Nicole Werner. And then one arrived from Premier Jacinta Allen, and then the Prime Minister. He couldn't believe it."
To add icing to the cake, he received a special video greeting from the Mayor of Manningham, Jim Grievous. Nada told the diary she ran into the Mayor at the Lunar New Year festival, and Councillor Grievous offered to record a video greeting for her dad.
"It was wonderful,"
Nada said. Bob has had a most incredible journey to reach this milestone. He started life on a farm in Hrušky, a small village in regional Czechoslovakia. His parents Wojciech and Marie Ulela were deeply religious Catholics who instilled these values in their children. His father died when he was 2, and his mother raised their 7 children alone. He was 12 when Czechoslovakia came under German occupation during World War II. He said things went from bad to worse when the Soviets arrived. His brother, Miroslav, a mathematician, fled to Australia in 1949 when he was forced to give up teaching to work in the mines.
When the communists took over, class struggle began. They told us kulaks, wealthy peasants, that we had everything and they had nothing. So class struggle began and hatred against the peasants began.
Bob said in his testimony for the Oral History Repository, Memory of Nations. Bob soon started to help bringing people fleeing Soviet persecution across the border to Austria. First priests, then novices, later neighbours and acquaintances. This took them to the Soviet-controlled area of Vienna, where they could cross the Danube to the American zone. In September 1951, Bob also made the journey to the west with his friend Cyril.
Voltis was the name of the village. There was a village feast.
He learnt from a girl at the local hotel that the border patrols all had their dinner at 8 p.m, and therefore the border was unguarded during that time.
I remember it was just like daytime. The moon was shining and the border was about 100 metres from the road.
From there, they sought refuge in the American embassy. They were told it would take 2 to 3 years to emigrate to America, so they risked the move to the French zone, where the emigration queues were shorter. From there, Bob soon met his wife, Marie, in Innsbruck, and together they settled in Australia, first in Perth, where he worked as a cook on a chicken farm, and then in 1956, moving to Melbourne. They initially lived in Richmond, where they raised their 4 children, Bobby, George, Nada and Roger, who died in 2013. He worked as a waiter in the university cafeteria and later at Ampol. Bob and Marie worked hard without ever taking a vacation. They went from one job to another to give their children a quality education. When his mother died in 1986, Bob wanted to go home for the funeral. However, the Czechoslovak authorities refused to grant him an entry visa and labelled him a kulak and a spy for the Vatican. Around this time, he started working in catering, managing a business and eventually owning the company.
It always paid off for me to be fair and honest.
Bob said. Bob and Marie moved to Doncaster in 1985. In 1990, he was able to return to Czechia to visit his extended family. Marie passed away in 2017. Bob said he is very much looking forward to receiving his letter from King Charles III next March.
God willing.
This story was read by Rebecca Rose, Adrian Rice and Hazel Rice.